Because not every disagreement will be a referendum on existence. And I think that's what happens with people who are purely secular. What do they like Bill Maher about? They like Bill Maher about free speech. They like his criticism of wokeness. And they're going, hey, I will pay this man to go to a live show to laugh at his jokes, many of which will be at the expense of me, because we as conservatives are open-minded. We are cool with jokes. We are okay to agree to disagree. Now show me the reverse version of that. Show me where somebody on the left is willing to pay somebody to show up to a show where they disagree with half, if not more, of the stuff that they're saying. Simply does not exist. So again, that also will show him as time goes on. That's very much what happened to me. I was a lefty, I was a Bernie supporter. I started talking to Larry Elder, started talking to Shapiro, started talking to Prager and Beck and all these guys. And what I found was, even though I had some disagreements with them, and I still do, by the way, these were nice people. They were good people. And I've generally found conservatives to be happier and more pleasant and more generous of spirit. And I think that entropy will keep dragging him. And then the question still gets to your original point, which is, does he make that final move? We shall see.
What you basically just said is, which is the truth, we're actually tolerant. And there's not some litmus test you have to pass to get our respect or be friends with us or to engage with us. And they are actually intolerant. And it's that's what's so
Jason,
shaking me about.
That's not disconnected from belief, right? Like when we're really wrapping the package around this conversation, why would people on the right be more tolerant? Well, if you believe in something more than this, right? Like we can talk about politics all day long, we could talk about culture all day long, all of that stuff. And that's all well and good, and we both love doing it, right? Like that's why we do what we do for a living, and it's pretty freaking awesome. It's a very special thing when you get to do what you really love, every day in and day out. But if you think that this politics is everything, the Senate vote was 52 to 48, well, if that's all you got, and you believe nothing else than what you wake up and read in the newspaper and see right in front of you, you will become sort of angry. You will become sort of crazy. You will become sort of impatient. Now, that isn't to say there aren't good atheists. I know a couple of them, and they're pretty decent, although I will tell you, I know at least two fairly well-known atheists who are like on the verge of outing themselves as believers right now. But of course, at a micro level, it can work, but at a societal level, it can't. And then if you take some people who think, hey, there's a set of beliefs out there. This thing has happened before. It's going to happen again. I believe in something bigger than me. It might lend you to being kind of decent and kind of more open-minded and everything else, because not every disagreement will be a referendum on existence. And I think that's what happens with people who are purely secular.
Well, one thing you just nailed for me as a believer is I believe like people can change and that people can improve. And even if I disagree with them, I look and say, man, I used to think a lot of dumb stuff myself. And, I woke up out of that and maybe it'll happen to them. And so that's a lot where my tolerance comes. Dave, I promise you, there was at one point, you talk to any of my friends, they would tell you, Jason Whitlock was so stupid. At one point, he thought a strip club was the greatest place on earth. And, I've overcome that and have evolved into a better person. And so I literally look at some of the liberals and some of the like crazy things that I think, like they really think men can get pregnant? Sure, they're gonna snap out of that. So, something's gonna happen and they'll snap out of that. So I just gotta overlook it and maybe that's no more crazy than me thinking the strip club is the greatest place on earth.